All right, so you found the perfect home of your dreams and now you're making an offer on it. When should you do a home inspection? Stay tuned to find out. Hey everyone, Andrew here with the Lake Team down in Houston, Texas. Welcome back to another video that we have for you today. If you are watching this on YouTube and you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below. We do our best to produce the absolute best real estate content to put out to you guys each and every week. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move straight into today's topic, which is when should you get a home inspection done? All right, so you get your home inspection done typically during your option period. So whenever you sign your contracts, the sellers agreed to all your terms or whatever, if you're done negotiating, you're under contract. In your contract, it'll say, or at least here in Texas, it'll say when your termination option is, right? How long it's going to be. You and your agent determine that, the negotiation period, whenever you make an offer to the seller. But let's say, for example, you have 7 days. I've seen it anywhere from 7 to 10 days. But let's say 7 days. You're going to get your home inspection done as soon as possible. Some home inspectors are backed up, some home inspectors aren't, but nonetheless, I mean, it's just best to go ahead and get it knocked out. Like once you get that signed contract back from the seller, then you're actually under contract. You deposit your earnest money, your option money to the title company. At that point, you're going to go ahead and jump on the phone, or you or your agent, and y'all are going to schedule the home inspections. So you want to get that done as quickly as possible because you don't have too much time. Time literally is of the essence at this point. You have 7 days to do your home inspections, and if you don't like something that you see and the seller doesn't want to fix it, I mean, that's within your right to terminate the contract. So it is best to go ahead and get that home inspection done as soon as possible. Now, what to expect from your report. So if you're a first-time home buyer, look, don't get scared. I mean, it's a home inspector's job to write anything and everything they can about any kind of defects they can about the house, whether it's maybe a small dent in the drywall, maybe it's a missing door stopper. I mean, who knows? But the point is, don't get scared. It's their job. They're going to write up anything and everything they can to find, any defects they find out about the house. So you can expect the reports to be anywhere from, depending on the property, of course, right? But older homes, I mean, you're typically going to have a report that's like 60 pages long, maybe more than that. I've seen them as long as 120 pages before. So it just really all depends on the home inspector you hire, what company you choose. We have a few that we work with, so if you need any recommendations, feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to get some recommendations to you guys on who we personally use. When you get your report back, don't get scared. You and your agent are going to go through this thing thoroughly. At that point, you're going to pick out, what's more concerning to you than others. I mean, you don't want to ask, a million line items, right, for the seller to repair, but let's pick and choose some of the things that may be a concern to you and see what the seller will do about it. All right, so the next thing to do is when you get that report back is knowing when to walk away. Is the property just in too bad a condition for your comfort? That's one thing that you need to kind of sit down and consider for yourself. Some people just don't care what kind of condition in, and it all depends on your motivations too. Like, are you just going to tear the house down and build a new construction on it? Do you really care what the condition is, or do you want a more move-in ready style home? Kind of all depends on exactly what you're looking for. But in this case, let's say, for example, you're actually going to live in the property, you like the property, you don't want to tear it down, you're not going to do a new construction, just a regular move-in ready home. You have to understand what you're comfortable with when it comes to repairs, and if the seller is going to repair anything at all. But you need to understand, like, if you're going to, do you have contractors lined up? Do you trust contractors that you already know? Are you comfortable with, doing foundation work? Are you comfortable with doing repipes? Are you comfortable with doing all kinds of stuff, right? So this is kind of the things you need to ask yourself. You and your agent should go over this, but this is kind of things you should ask yourself of where is your comfort zone and when does it start to kind of getting out of there? It's like, all right, this is a little bit too much for me to handle. So one other thing you could do is use that report as leverage. Like I said earlier, if there's something that is concerning to you, let's say there's some foundation issues or the roof is shot and needs to be replaced, you can use this as leverage. Don't go crazy to the seller. You don't want to scare them away. But what you could do is use that report as leverage and ask for those items to be repaired. Let's say, for example, the roof comes back shot, right? It's maybe a 16-year-old roof, has some severe hail damage or something. You don't feel comfortable moving forward without that roof being replaced. The agent's going to talk to the other agent about it and see if the seller can cover the roof. Now, a lot of times what we do on the buy and sell side too, but more on the sell side, is if a buyer asks for a roof to be replaced, if it's in a really bad condition, it does need to be replaced, then I have contractors that we use for pay at closing. So it's not something the seller's going to have to come straight out of pocket with. It'll just come out of the proceeds. And then it all depends on the contract too. Are you splitting it, or not a contract? You get what I mean. Are you going to split it with the seller on the cost to do the roof? I mean, just it all depends. But for conversation's sake, that's the type of leverage that you can use. Like I said, you're going to go over what you're comfortable with, and what you also can do as well. Let's say it's just a bunch of small items that you're like, all right, this is just too much to handle. Maybe it's not the roof, but it's just a bunch of smaller items inside the home, what you could do is ask them to come down on price, right? So like, all right, well, instead of you doing any of these repairs, I want you to come down X amount of dollars. You know, in lieu of repairs, I want X amount of dollars towards my closing cost as a buyer. You could do that as well. But I mean, like again, it varies from report to report on what you can and cannot do. And it varies on every situation as well. Like were they in multiple offer situations, they may not even really want to, at that point, you know, entertain the thought of doing a long line item list of repairs when they have probably multiple backup offers. So these are some things to consider too. Another question that we do get a lot from home buyers is, do you have to do a home inspection? The answer is no, you don't have to. There's no law that's going to force you to do a home inspection whenever you're purchasing a house. However, we always recommend getting a home inspection done, even if you're not doing an option period. I would recommend getting a home inspection done, that at least you know what's going on with the property. But if you do have an option, for sure, I mean, you definitely you want to do a home inspection, because you're going to know. You're going to know what's wrong with the property. You're going to know any of the defects that are coming up with it, whether the seller is going to make any repairs or not. At least you understand, you know, where you're at with this property, where your comfort is, how many contractors you're going to have to hire, how much money you're going to have to put into it. All these things kind of add up. So you don't have to do a home inspection, but we always highly recommend doing one. So how much are home inspection reports? Home inspections, they range from different inspectors. There's hundreds of inspectors out here in the Houston area. You know, they really range. You know, I've seen them as low as $350, and I've seen them as high as $700. Some do home inspections based off the square footage of the home. It really all just depends, but I would say go ahead and shoot for that $400 or $500 mark on average is what you're going to be paying for a home inspection. Who to hire? I'm not going to explicitly say who to hire here on this video, but if you need any recommendations, feel free to reach out to me. There are a couple home inspectors that we work with all the time. There's two of them in particular, and if you want someone who we know, who we like, and who we trust, who will do a thorough and a good job, feel free to reach out to us at any time, and I'll be happy to share that information with you guys. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That's going to wrap it up for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below if you're watching this on YouTube, or you can reach out to us directly on our website for any question that you might have. If you have a topic that you'd like me to cover and make a video on, feel free to leave that in the comment section below, or shoot me a text, or leave me an email. It doesn't matter. We'll be happy to make that video for you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. You'll be the first to be notified of the videos that we release every single week. But again, that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm Andrew with the Lake Team here in Houston, Texas, and we'll see you next time.